Today's gospel text comes in a series of readings that follow one after the other that are very important for this, where we are in this part of the year, this time of Epiphany. Right? We just celebrated Epiphany this past week, and this notion of the revelation of the Messiah, the revelation of Jesus as the Christ. And in Luke's gospel, there are a number of stories that are linked together, and this is the story that we heard today is the culmination of that. So the first part is Jesus' baptism, right? And we hear how the Spirit descended upon Jesus, right? The Spirit comes upon him. And then after being baptized and after the Father says, this is my beloved Son with whom I am well pleased, right? Then the Spirit leads him out into the wilderness. And there he is tempted for 40 days, right? Sustained by the Spirit, if you will. And then the Spirit leads him out of the wilderness. And as the text begins today, Jesus returned to Galilee in the power of the Spirit, right? So throughout all of these preliminaries, you might say, because this text is really the beginning of his public ministry, right? All through that journey, and of course you could go back even further, right? In Luke's gospel, what do we have? We have the Annunciation story, right? Angel Gabriel appearing to Mary. There's the Spirit overshadows Mary and she conceives, right? The power of the Spirit running through this story, right? And then Jesus comes before the people of his hometown, as it were, of Nazareth, and he's just simply reading the text from Isaiah. The Spirit of the Lord is upon me. Indeed it is, right? The Spirit has come upon him, right? And he has taken up his role. He knows who he is, what he's about, and he's fulfilling that role now, right? And the text continues on, because he has anointed me, right? Like a priest, like a king, to bring glad tidings to the poor, like a prophet. He has sent me to proclaim liberty to captives and proclaim liberty to the captives, like a king would do. Recovery of sight to the blind, as a prophet would do. To let the oppressed go free, as a king would do. Right? And to proclaim a year acceptable to the Lord, as a priest would do. Right? He's completing those three key roles: priest, prophet, and king. Right? But always guided by the Spirit of God. Always with him. And of course, that's an important message for us as well, isn't it? Right? As we leave behind this Christmas season, as we enter once more into another year, hopefully we seek out the guidance of the Spirit in how we live in the world, how we speak, how we act, what we do. Right? Hopefully we call on God's blessing to receive that gift so that we might fulfill our own baptismal call to be priest, prophet, and king, right? To share in that vocation, if you will, of Jesus, right? To give of ourselves as a priest does, as Jesus did, right? To be a prophet, to speak and act in truth, and to share in the kingship of Christ, which is not to lord it over others, but to serve. Right? We ask the Lord to give us the gifts of the Spirit to help us to be faithful to that call, as Jesus indeed was and is.